Hello, Archie, am I audible? Sheetal ma'am, am I audible clearly?
Yeah, you are audible. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Hello, Sheetal ma'am. Am I audible clearly now? And
Yeah,
I hope
Shubh,
my
you
screen
are
is
audible.
and I
Yeah, yeah.
hope my screen is visible as well.
Yes.
Right? Yes. So we'll start with this session. So hello and welcome everyone. I'm Shubh Parmar, your host for today's webinar. My team and I are here to make sure you have a seamless and engaging experience. If you have any questions or need assistance, feel free to use the chat window. We are here to help. So the topic for today is Microsoft Purview, data governance and compliance in the AI era. So this webinar is hosted by the ATC community, a hub for enthusiasts passionate about cloud technologies, AI, machine learning, IoT, open source development, and DevOps. And today's event is sponsored by Synergetics and Microsoft. Before we dive into today's session, let me take a moment to introduce Synergetics. Synergetics is a leading edge learning solutions provider in India, offering specialized training and consulting services. We empower businesses and professionals to thrive in today's fast evolving tech landscape by delivering transformative learning experiences. Our core focus is on enabling digital transformation through innovative skilling programs, advisory services, and end to end implementation support. These are all the 12 learning solutions which are offered by Synergetics. This is the Microsoft certification skilling journey. The journey begins with the fundamental certification, then progresses to advanced role based certification, and finally to expert level certification. Also, we run communities on Meetup. This is the emerging technology community. Anyone who are eager to learn about technological knowledge can join this community on Meetup. We have multiple communities in Pune, Gujarat, Nagpur, and Indore. Those who are interested to join this community, please log into Meetup app and gain your knowledge for free. We are thrilled to have Ms. Sheetal Thakre as our today's speaker. She's a certified Microsoft trainer and a consultant at Synergetics. She brings a wealth of knowledge and experience in AI and cloud technologies. The agenda for this webinar is information protection, data loss prevention, and integrating with Copilot for secure AI workflows. This is the 2 hours of learning plan, which includes a one-day webinar, self-learning plan, mentoring and exam prep session, and knowledge and assessment. Also, as you all know, we are providing a complimentary learning achievement badge for this session, which includes an overview of the module, topics which are related to this webinar. You can share the badge on your LinkedIn and Twitter profile as well. To get the badge activated, you just need to follow certain steps and redeem the badges. Also, actually, I've already shared the link in the chat box. You have to follow the code of conduct, which will create a respectful environment for all the participants. Please note participants are not allowed to take screenshot of the presentation and cannot do screen recording. Also, I would like to take a moment to share some information about the certification workshops we conducted Synergetics. This Saturday webinars you have been attending are designed to give you a brief overview and summary of the full course content. However, the actual certification training program for this course is run over 4 days. Currently, we are offering them at a specially discounted rate exclusively for webinar attendees. On my screen, you can see the list of in-demand certification courses we are currently focusing on. For more details or to register, you can connect with one of my colleagues, Mr. Vivek Balasundaram. Uh, Archie have already shared his detail in the chat box, so you can connect with him for more details regarding this sessions. Do follow us on our social media platforms to get relevant updates on upcoming webinars, workshops, and certifications training we do. Uh, all the links are shared in the chat box. Uh, so please do follow us on all our social media platforms. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me. Now we'll hand over the mic to our speaker. Sheetal, ma'am, you can take over from here.
Thank you, Shubh. Sharing my screen. Greetings of the day all. Good afternoon. This is Sheetal Thakre. I'll be the speaker for the topic Microsoft Purview, Data Governance and Compliance in the Era of AI. We start with the brief about the speaker. I am MCT, Microsoft Certified Trainer. I am certified with M365 Security and Compliance Certificates, Azure Infra Certificates, and I am engaged in training related to M365 security as well as infra security. So you'll find these are the various courses I am certified into, and I provide the trainings related to this. The agenda for today's webinar is data security concerns when there is the usage of AI tool, how this can be addressed with the solution provided by Microsoft, how you can integrate Microsoft Security Copilot with the Purview to address the data security concerns. We will check on 2-3 examples about how the data is leaked or exposed when it is not labeled, and how you can configure the related governance solution. So let us start with the very first subtopic. Now, data security is the biggest concern when you allow the use of AI tools in your organization. And the main reason is that the visibility into AI tool usage is not sufficient. So as there is insufficient visibility, there might be the attack surfaces which are open. There might be some entry points, open doors, which security admin is not aware about. And because of that, it will act as the entry point for the attack scenario, anomalous situation in your environment. So visibility into the usage of AI tool is the requirement. So such cases wherein there is insufficient visibility into usage of AI tools will lead to data leak situation, data oversharing situation, and non-compliance usage. So what this means? This means that in case of data leak, user is not aware that the data user is sharing with the AI tool, it's sensitive. Why? Because it is not labeled properly and the access is not restricted. As it is not labeled properly and access is not restricted, unwanted user can share it, upload it with the AI site or AI tool. Similarly, as there is lack of tagging, classification, labeling, user may query or prompt to AI tool about some data, and in turn, this AI tool is returning you the data from your environment, your organization, which is sensitive. As the user is, this is not labeled, user is not aware about sensitivity and is also not restricted to use this. User may print it or forward it and share it with rest of the team or multiple user. So data oversharing, non-compliance use. Now this user may give some non-compliant query, unethical query, and in return, the user will get the output also, which will be not compliant as per your organization or maybe some regulatory compliance guidelines, communication compliance rules. So these are the main 3 categories you will find that need good visibility into each and every interaction user is doing with the AI tool. and all the locations as well. So these are the features which are included into the solution provided by Microsoft regarding the security of data when there is the usage of AI tools or you allow AI tools to your employees organization in the organization. Now, when we say that we are talking about the AI tool by either Microsoft or any cloud service provider. So generally you will find that whenever you are exploring the services of cloud service provider, it follows the shared responsibility model. So that applies to AI platform, AI tools as well. So you can bring your own AI model. So responsibility will be of organization entirely regarding security of the infra, maintenance of infra, making platform usage, application compliant, secure. When you avail the service from any cloud service provider or Microsoft, the responsibilities will be shared. So here you find infra, AI infra responsibilities shared by the Microsoft. Rest will be model dependent. This will also be shared between the cloud service provider and customer, irrespective of you are building your model or you are using the inbuilt or ready-made platform, you find that application infra, application design, plugins, its governance, security, how you train your user about its sensitivity usage, how you take the accountability. So that will lie with the customer organization. And even if you are going for the third one, wherein most of the responsibilities are taken care by the cloud service provider, Microsoft, few of them are shared and very few are the responsibilities of the customer, taking accountability. If you are not configuring the proper policies and controls are not in place and users are not trained regarding its usage, you may face the situations which are not very compliant, desirable. So everything will be taken care by here related to your data, users' actions, how you govern them with the help of policies and access control here. But you will find that when you are using the SaaS applications, AI tools from any of the cloud service providers, lesser responsibilities are with you. So, which users are to be provided with access to the AI apps? How you will control that usage? Whenever they are using those who are allowed to use the AI apps, whenever they are using the organization's documents, data, artifacts with the AI tool, whether there is some policing, control, governance, monitoring, implement and operate organization-wide AI security training. To make this a productive scenario, compliant scenario, whether you are training your people force, so that will be the responsibility of user organization. So what solution we find regarding data security when the AI tools are allowed? The different controls are there: DLP, data loss prevention policies, insider risk policies, information protection, adaptive protection. What they provide you? This is the governance control. This will require the input from the information protection, which allows you to classify your data. Unless and until you classify the data, you won't be able to monitor your sensitive data and restrict its use. So information protection will give you the features to classify your data. And now the one which is sensitive, business critical, important to you from compliance point of view, you will concentrate on that. So how you will keep it separately or recognizable from the non-sensitive data? So you have to first create custom sensitive information type and use this for creation of labels or classifiers. So either you label your data or use classifiers to label it, auto labeling. So that way your sensitive data, business critical data is now tagged. So whenever you are writing policies, you will target tagging of the documents. And this tag in the form of label will be able to control access, apply encryption, and apply data content marking as well. So you can have that watermark, header, footer, wherein you will say that official data, R&D data, sensitive data to be shared within organization only, should not be shared with the external user, confidential, highly confidential, legal document likewise. Then there is also a component insider risk management. So when we say there is a threat scenario or there is a threat actor, generally, or there is a hacker, generally we are referring to someone who is outside your organization. But the ones who are working with you, part of your organization, they can also be posing as the risky users to your security or compliance. So what are such case scenarios? Consider that some are departing users, as in they are on notification, they are soon to be leaving the organization, they are not very happy with their boss's organization, and they are taking some data with them or deleting some data. So they are disrupting your system and trying to steal some, exfiltrate some data, take some data with them. So you create a group of such users who are on notification and you monitor their activities. So if a normal user is supposed to print a document 2 times per day, and suppose you find users, people, employee from this group, they are printing the documents more than 2 times. The threshold is suppose 4 times a day. So you monitor them. They are sending mails, or maybe if USB or something is allowed, they are taking lot of downloads, copies, likewise. So you monitor their activities. If they are above threshold, that can be the insider risk. Then you have this adaptive protection. As the name itself suggests, adaptive will depend on the risk of the user. So the Purview portal will monitor each user's profile by monitoring the activities, whether they are risky or not. Depending on that, high, medium, low risk will be associated with the user. And in that particular point in time, if the user risk is high, action 1 will be taken. Suppose block access. In general, I am telling you, not specific. If risk is medium, it may be allow access, but with certain condition, say MFA, password reset. And if it is low, maybe user will be low and no risk, user will be allowed the access, maybe with justification. In general, I am saying. So what I meant is, depending on the risk level, the actions will vary. So these are the data security features you find are provided by the Purview portal. Now, when we talk about data governance, Purview portal is now a unified Purview portal. What this means? This means that now it is covering the governance for M365 plus infra part. So generally, previously when you say Microsoft Purview portal, purview.microsoft.com, so that used to have the compliance and security related to the information M365 environment. So it used to cover the scope of SharePoint sites, SharePoint Online. Then it used to cover Teams. It used to cover Outlook. So now when you say infra part is also there, so that infra part is in portal.azure.com. So for the data from this infra part as well, you can have the governance part configured from this portal, which is now unified Purview portal. So data governance, and these topics are related to that data map, data catalog, data estate, risk and compliance posture. So compliance assessments are there as per the different industries. If you say that you are in healthcare, you are in fintech or card industry, payment card industry, in general, ISO, or as per some framework of region, say Australia, Canada, India, RBI, IT framework. So all those can be applied and you can assess the compliance of your organization with that respect. Now, if someone is engaged in non-compliant activity, illegal activity, the case is going on against some person, group of people, either within your organization or in the court of law, you need to provide some electronics evidence, or maybe you will search that data, review that data, print it, and then produce. So with that respect, e-discovery is the feature. Audits will allow you to check on each and every user's activity. Communication compliant. Communication compliance will take care of what language, what words are being used during the Teams communication, Outlook communication, wherever people are communicating. Data lifecycle management. This will be helpful related to retention of data, information, documents. Both of them will be related to protecting the contracts, IPRs. Protecting in the sense there are two ways. Either if you say that they are records, then once they are stored, they should not be modified. So you can have the legal holds on data to store them for at the max 10 years so that no one will be able to delete them. Other feature will allow you to update the data as well. So these are the various features which you can implement, configure with the help of Purview portal. Whether it will be able to take care of different environments or it is working with your Microsoft native cloud only, you find that generally the support is for AWS GCP environment, and you will be able to get this on-prem environment also under the scope of Purview. Third party application. It is not necessary that you will be using native application, Microsoft's application only. It will provide the support scanning for all these environments and different types of third party applications as well. This feature, whenever there is a data map and unified catalog in the picture, that will be talking about the infra part. So you have your data stored and data is processed using the different tools in your environment. So while it is stored, while it is processed, you should have the visibility where your data is, which process, which tool is operating on it. So all those you will be able to get with the help of lineage as well. So what is the source of a data? What extract, transform processes are being performed? Any pipeline is working on that data. And now what is the destination of that data? So these are covered when you are talking about the uh, say Azure Purview. This was the name earlier. Now they say that Unified Purview Portal. When you say Microsoft Purview, M365 environment, we are talking user centric. When we say Azure Purview, we are talking about this infra part. Now, you may be having Microsoft's native AI tool. Different type of co-pilots are there. There can be a co-pilot for M365 environment. Then free version M365 Copilot chat can be there. There can be Copilot for security, for Fabric, for Azure portal. You can build your own AI model as well. And any third party by Google or any other cloud service provider or in general, you will be able to govern with the help of Microsoft Purview. So here we are concentrating on Microsoft Purview. That is, we are exploring the use cases from M365 environment and not exactly Azure Infra. That facility is also there, but that is a different component. Here the topic is Microsoft Purview It provides more visibility with the help of different DLP and adaptive protection. So what exactly these solutions and how they start with? So new feature Microsoft has added, which is DSPM for AI, Data Security Posture Management for AI. So if we explore this purview.microsoft.com portal, so this will be purview.microsoft.com, and you will find different solutions are there which you need to configure to be able to govern the data from your M365 environment. If you talk about infra environment, you find data catalog is there, and the new feature DSPM for AI. If you explore this DSPM for AI, Data Security Posture Management for AI, so what it is telling you, discover and secure all AI activities in the Microsoft Copilot, agents, and other AI apps. So third-party AI apps which are connected with your environment, they are also covered. DSPM for AI helps you to monitor and keep your data safe. So if you want to start with this, what exactly and how you will start? These are the steps you should know. Activate the Microsoft Purview audit. In general, also, whenever you want to apply DLP policy, insider risk policy, communication compliance policy, retention policy, you should be starting with the audit. Here only you find this audit feature is there. For the very first time you click on this, it will give you the instructions to turn on the audit only once, and then later on all the activities of all the non-admins as well as admins, they will be recorded. So this is what you get. Start recording user and admin activities. So this is important. So when you go for this data security posture management for AI, it is telling you how you will proceed with each and every step. Now, all the endpoints, user endpoints, they should also be onboarded. Users' machines. Whenever they are accessing this purview or any of the application, any site from their device, the browser should have Microsoft Purview extension. So it will be easier for it to search for the sensitive data, know the sensitive data, filter the sensitive data, onboarding of devices having the extensions. So all this are the prerequisites. Whatever third-party AI apps you are using, they should be connected under the MDCA MCAS solution. You should be tagging allowed apps as sanctioned, and you should be monitoring those apps also from the Microsoft Defender for cloud apps. Now here, once you are in DSPM for AI, recommendation is what gives you the information about each and every step you need to follow. So you will find you can strengthen the data security of your organization. Data security related steps and policies are there. Detect unethical behavior in AI apps. Guided assistance for AI regulations. So you will find that this feature, data security posture management for AI, is covering majority or almost each area and scope when there is the Usage of AI tools in your environment. Protect sensitive data referred in Copilot and agent responses. Discover and govern interactions with ChatGPT Enterprise AI. Now, once you are done with configuring the recommendations by the DSPM for AI, you will be able to check on the reports as well as all the details of users who are involved in non-compliant activities. So you can go for Purview audit for that, filter it with the Copilot or any AI tool, and you will be getting all the information about such activities. Whenever you are configuring these policies under DSPM for AI, it is going to use in the background the features of Purview portal, as in sensitivity labels, which can be inbuilt as well. 200 plus sensitivity labels are there. What are sensitivity labels? If you go to information protection, sensitivity labels, you will find that lot many sensitivity labels are. These are the labels available ready-made, but when you want to create any of the label, you will find that here is the feature control access. Control who can access and view labeled items. Content marking is also available. So when you say that you are defining a sensitivity label, these controlling governance actions can be bundled with this. Assign the permission when we say access control. So who can be accessing the data with the labeled content, whether any authenticated user from your environment, all users and groups in your environment. Here it can be a guest as well who is already enrolled with your intra ID. So can be from the different domain as well. Here all the users from your domain only. Specific users and specific email addresses or domains. So you are choosing the permission here. And when you say that you are using the content marking as well, you should find content marking can be done in a dynamic way, or it can be done in a static way as well. So whenever you apply this label to the document, you will find whatever you are configuring here as a watermark, that will be applied to the document. Likewise, footer and header as well. These are mandatory fields. Unless and until you fill them, it won't allow you to proceed ahead. Now this label can be applied either manually or auto labeling is possible. So whatever location or previously scope you have selected, files and email scope I have selected, So at that location, this can be auto applied as well, or if you choose to apply it manually, by default you find this is turned off. If you turn this on, then how the Purview portal will know that particular document is a sensitive and of your interest. So you have to tell it that if the content matches to these conditions, then only you apply this sensitivity label. So how you can add the condition? Content contents. So if the Word file contains this, or the Excel file contains this, if the email contains this, so what options you have for this? So I was talking about this sensitive information types. So there are 200 plus sensitive information types which are already defined in the portal. So you can find that credit card number is already there. Social security number SSN format will be there as per region. License number as per region. So not many sensitive information types are already there. But of course, your organization can be having a certain custom type. Let us say the employee ID will be custom, will be varying from each organization to other. So in such case, first step towards the data governance will be you need to define the formats for sensitive information types, and they are called as custom sensitive information types. Apart from this inbuilt, you can have the custom sensitive information types also created in your environment. So how you will create the custom sensitive information types? Once you proceed with that label creation, it will be available here. Sensitive information types, and you can create the sensitive information type. How you will specify the format? You can specify the format with the help of regular expression or any function, or you can be giving those keywords as well. If you have a collection of say 30-40 keywords which are sensitive for you, so you will find you will be able to create pattern. So here you will be able to use regular expression or keyword list, keyword dictionary, more number of words here, and function as well. So this way you will have your custom sensitive information type created, which will be then used as input for classifiers as well as creation of labels, and these will be used for policy definition as well, both sensitive information types and labels. So this is the very first step you should take towards data security, and this helps you to classify your label your data, classify your data. Labeling is one of the way of classifying. You can automate it as well using the trainable classifier. You'll find lot many inbuilt trainable classifiers are there to classify the resumes, contract documents, or you can train your model as well by providing the training and testing data. So that way you will be able to use the trainable classifier for your custom documents as well. You might be having some IPRs, intellectual property, which you want to protect. So you find agreements, certificates, compliance policies, so all those classifiers which will classify these documents are inbuilt, but there is a facility to create the classifier. So all these are preliminaries towards the data security, and they will act as input for policy which comes under governance control. To protect sensitive data from the AI related risks. So this is telling you that complete all the recommendations suggested by the DSPM for AI. If you are not that familiar with configuration of policies, there is an option, one-click policy, create and configure policies automatically in solutions like DLP. So what this will use? This will use all the inbuilt entities. It may be sensitive information type. It may be trainable classifiers. So using those inbuilt, it will try to configure the policies for your environment. Guided setup is also there. So manually you can proceed by the instructions provided. Govern AI usage with Microsoft Purview. Apply the retention policies to the Copilot prompts and responses. So why there is a need to retain the prompts, and what are prompts? So Copilot prompts are nothing but user questions or queries or input by user given to the Copilot. So what is the example of that? So user may say that create PowerPoint presentation or slide deck on topic use of AI in network security. 10 slides likewise. So this is nothing but user's input or instruction or prompt given to Copilot, and Copilot will give the output as the PowerPoint slide presentation. So why there is need to store this, retain this? Because the user may give non-compliant input as well, or non-desired illegal sort of input as well. So what is the use case for that? So if the quarter results are to be declared and the stock prices of your organization, they are going to be up or down. So people are communicating with each other with that reference and asking Copilot that convert this into the sentence which should not be obvious that we are doing insider trading. So those kind of non-compliant, or in case how to bypass TLP policy. This is also not expected from the employee. Employee should not be searching these kind of queries: how to bypass DLP policy, how to avoid insider risk policy audit, uh, logs. So likewise. So that is why you will be storing, you will be auditing, and you will be retaining such prompts under e-discovery or otherwise also, so that if there is some case, legal case opened against employee group of employees, then this can be provided as the proof. So their Teams chat will also be part of that proof, but whatever they are communicating with the co-pilot related to that non-compliant event, that is also important. So here you find this is a part of retention policy, that you have to select this, that Teams chat and co-pilot interaction should be retained. So if you go to the purview.microsoft.com solution, retention policies, and if you try to configure a retention policy, you will find that here, Copilot AI, other AI apps. So this scope can be covered under the retention of data related to this. So here you find it, Teams chat is separately given, Copilot is separately given. Now, even if you choose this scope adaptive, do you get any other different option? So you get them likewise. So what I meant here is, unless and until you choose the scope, which app you want to monitor, which location you want to monitor and govern, this Purview portal won't scan that location. So while configuring the policy, you have to make every location under the scope which you want to govern, control, police. So configuration of policy, fine tuning, that is very important. Delete Copilot prompts and responses with e-discovery. E-discovery is basically you will be using whenever you want to provide proofs to any legal case, legal matter, and therein, whenever a case is opened under e-discovery, from the audit logs, all the users' activities who are involved in that case, non-compliant illegal activity, they are filtered out and they are kept under legal hold, so that user won't be or someone won't be able to delete it, and you should be able to provide it as a proof. Now here you will find that filtering criteria for collecting the data is what? Copilot activity. So for any users, Copilot, any users as in the one who is involved, Copilot activity record will be selected. Here you will find this is important feature. You will be reviewing before submitting that, you will be reviewing it. Why this is required? Because it may contain your organization's other sensitive data that should not get exposed. That should not go outside your organization. So reviewing is important, and that should come under the premium license or add-on. There is this limitation, max 100 items per mailbox per deletion limit. Now, responses you will delete if Copilot is giving you such output to the prompt of user, and this output itself consists of sensitive information, non-compliant information. Why it will be provided? Because the data is not classified and it is not labeled properly. So the access is not given properly. So Copilot, the user who is logged in the Copilot account, that user's RBAC will matter, permissions will matter. So every user who is logged in with the Copilot, with that user's permission, Copilot tool or AI tool will have the access to the various locations and data in your environment. So you need to create sensitive informations, labels, classifiers, and provide the access, provide the encryption. That is the first and very, very important step. That will be the filtering criteria for rest of the, whether the activities of user are compliant or they are, data leak is there, data loss is there to the outside domain. So when we say that someone has configured DLP, so how we know that the data loss is taking place? Because the document which is communicated, unless and until it is labeled, it won't be filtered out that yes, this is the sensitive data. And if it is going to the outside domain, that will be the loss for my organization. So labeling is important. And with that label, you can say that only the user from my organization can access. So even if that data is sent to the outside domain, label will be traveling with the document. So if someone from the outside domain is trying to access, it won't be permitting it to open the document. So that configuration just now we have seen in the DLP. Detect and manage Copilot and AI communication. So here communication policy is in picture. You are detecting users' communication with the AI. So where you find this communication? Policy configuration. You go to purview.microsoft.com, solutions, communication compliance policy. If you do not have policy in place that detects inappropriate text, create one, start detecting for the future communications. Here also, you will be able to create your own list of inappropriate text which you do not want to allow in your environment. So even if the management or the higher authorities, they are not very comfortable with people using the shortcuts. So that just simplest example. So those two, three, or those list of words also people use for thanks, people use this thing, right? So in official mails, if you don't want this to be used or great or something, all those words, these are the simplest familiar examples I am telling you. If you do not want your employees to use these words in general mail or Teams communication, so that can also be added as non-compliant in the policy in the list because it is not following any standard. So that way you will be creating a communication compliance policy, and here if you try to create, it will also give you various templates. Detect Microsoft Copilot interactions, inappropriate content, text, images, sensitive information types, financial regulatory compliance, conflict of interest, and under custom policies, you will be able to give your own custom content. If you proceed with this, you will find you can have the communication compliance policy from M365 locations and generative AI tools as well, non-Microsoft apps as well. So here you will be able to detect prompts and responses in Copilot and non-Copilot AI apps. So this also comes under the scope or location. Whether this portal will be able to assess the AI risks, it will be able to assess the AI risks, and whatever risks are there, it will be able to mitigate as well. So what are the features there? Microsoft Purview Insider Risk Management includes policy templates to detect sensitive AI prompts, risky responses, or visits to AI sites that could indicate potential misuse. So Microsoft will have repository under the threat intelligence TI. Every cloud service provider maintains the database or repository of such known malicious IPs, URLs, file hashes, and that will be used as reference. You can get connected with the Microsoft TI as well as a connector. Third party threat intelligence repository also you can get connected with in your environment. It also has the information about the past or recent attacks and the reports related to those attacks. So with reference to that, it gives you all the information and it detects as well. So here you find in insider risk management, you will be able to configure insider risk policy. Insiders are your employees who are communicating in a non-compliant, risky manner, visiting the sites which are not safe for your environment. So where you get these templates, risky AI usage, risky browser usage, all those things. So you go to insider risk from this solution. Yeah, kindly rejoin. If there is any audio issue, kindly rejoin the session. So we have selected this solution, insider risk management. And if you try to create a policy recommendation, also it is telling you turn on analytics to scan the potential risks. So from the settings, you will be able to do this. Recommendations you should check with every solution. And when you try to create a insider risk policy, custom policy, so these are the templates you get. Risky AI usage, risky browser usage. Newly introduced category, so it is under preview. And few prerequisites are also there. You should create the group of the users who are departing, notification period. Devices of all the users should be onboarded. Then only the portal will be able to track what the user is doing from their device, printing, copy pasting, downloading, visiting AI sites, all those things. So these templates also you can proceed with, or you can select the custom and you can create your. Here it says at least one browsing indicator should be there. You proceed. Turn on the indicator. Here also indicators you find. Risky browsing indicator. Communication compliance indicators. Data loss alert indicators. So you find these are the thresholds related to the activity of user. If they are crossed, it will be considered as risky. Generative AI apps. So what are the examples of this? Generative AI apps, Microsoft Copilot, experiences. Receiving sensitive response from Copilot, entering risky prompt in Copilot. Input, output, both are sensitive. Enterprise AI app. So you will be take care of all this with the help of Microsoft Purview solution. Enterprise AI app also input output will be taken care. Open AI entering risky prompts in the other AI applications. Azure AI content safety indicator. So it is monitoring the risky behavior of the user insider. So you find these things inside the solution, insider risk management. This is the new feature, adaptive protection. This combines DLP with insider risk management. So basically, what is the flow here? Insider risk levels, they are given to the DLP policy, and then DLP policy decides actions on users related to their activity. So previously we discussed on slide 1 the action for high risk level, medium risk level, low risk level. So that is coming from insider risk management. Here it will be important that users' devices are onboarded to MDE and in Purview. Extensions are there on their browser. Audit facility is turned on. Dynamic enforcement adjusts DLP actions like block, warn, audit based on real-time user risk levels. This is the adaptive protection you find insider risk management. If you go for this adaptive protection, here also it is telling you what exactly the quick setup will do, and you can go for custom setup as well. Data assessment feature is giving you the information about how much sensitive data is shared at various locations. So it tells you sensitive data, non-sensitive data, whether it is in the within organization, shared within organization, outside organization. So all those information you will get with data assessment. It will scan sites, check on the data, and it will try to find whether it's a sensitive data. So good visualization you are getting from here. You will decide that my customer phone number is exposed. So I need to now create a policy wherein sensitive information type will be phone number. That way it will label the document, and when such labeled document is shared outside the organization or within the organization with the people who are not supposed to access that data, then the policy will take the action block. So this is data assessment is telling you customer phone numbers are exposed. So your conclusion, your analysis say that now I have to go to configuration of policy for this sensitive information type. Microsoft Security Copilot. in Microsoft Purview. Now, as the name suggests, it's a security copilot. So, security copilot will be working with multiple security solutions, not only Purview. So, it will be working with Entra ID. It will work with your Intune. It will work with Microsoft Defender XDR. It will work with Sentinel. It will work with any other security solution, provided third party solution, provided the plugins are there, connectors are there. So here you find the admins from various domain or department are there. SOC admin is there. They have their concerns. Data security admin is there. They have their concerns. Compliance admin is there. They have their concerns. So to be more productive and finish the scope of your work in a faster way, they are using Microsoft Security Copilot, because Microsoft Security Copilot acts as one of the team member, as good as one of the non-human team member who can work 24/7 without getting exhausted with the machine speed. But then security concern, data security concern will always be there when you are communicating with the Security Copilot. So when Microsoft Security Copilot is integrated in your environment, you can access it in two different views, two different experiences. Standalone, which can be accessed from here. Embedded, which will be embedded in your Microsoft Security solutions. So when you say that you are accessing the embedded view, you do not have any specific URL for that. Rather, you will be going to the required portal and you will be accessing Copilot from that portal itself. As I previously mentioned, Copilot can work 24/7 with machine speed, provided you are giving it the access of other security solutions via plugins, Entra ID, Defender, Intune, Purview. It will be able to efficiently investigate any alert and give you all summary within few either seconds or fraction of minute, you can say. But unless and until it has other security solutions connected, it won't be able to go and access from their logs or from that particular portal. So connectivity, plugins, data connectors, visibility to Copilot itself is required. Working of Security Copilot. Human will provide natural language prompt which will be processed by the LLMs, large language models, on which this Copilot basically work. And these are the different stages how it is processed and given you as the response. When we say that Microsoft Security Copilot is a AI tool, so whether it is following the principle of responsible AI, so it is following the principle of responsible AI, and these are the characteristics of that. Now we check on few use cases and what are the related solutions from the Purview portal for that scenario. So employee accidentally leaks data in non-Microsoft Gen AI app. So this is the scenario wherein employee input sensitive data into AI app without knowing that it's a sensitive data. Now here we can think of that why this is the case, why user is able to if it's a sensitive data, how come all the users are getting access to that? And even if user got the access, whether it is labeled and allowed to share. So as there is no visibility into data shared with AI, no protection control in place, labeling is not there, classifying is not there. Even the AI tools prompts are not monitored. So we had this non-compliant case scenario. So the solution by Microsoft for that is go for DSPM for AI, wherein you can configure DLP policies. And then you will be able to keep a watch on your sensitive data when it is shared with the AI app. So with that regards, you find the concern admin or the person is going to data security posture management solution, is trying to follow these recommendations given. So there is example, project Obsidian is created and policy related to that is applied. Where this policy is applied, this is applied at the devices. So all the users devices, this is the location where the policy is applied. Project Obsidian block pasting to browser. So what advanced rule this policy is configured for? If someone is trying to paste the sensitive information related to Project Obsidian into the browser, then block it. Rule is turned on. Here, when you look at the rule, you find that condition is what it contains sensitive information type of Project Obsidian. So first thing before configuring policy, you have configured sensitive information type and related project related label. So action, what action should be taken? That is also specified here. This is the section where you will go and configure the action. So what action they have in this section, what action they have written, page to supported browser is blocked. Copy to clipboard is blocked. Copy to removable USB is blocked. Copy to network share is blocked. Now here, look at this. Someone is trying to copy this project Obsidian related data into the prompt of this AI tool, ChatGPT. This is the Word document from where data is copied, and it is trying to paste it in the prompt of AI tool. So what it got? Microsoft Purview DLP. Your organization has blocked pasting protected content to the unprotected location. You tried to paste protected content, which is prohibited by your organization. So DLP policy is able to check on the user activity which is performed from user's device and the app which is there on user's device. This document user has access to, which is labeled. If you look minutely, this document is labeled. So this information is sensitive. There is watermark as well, confidential. Your organization automatically applied sensitive label or sensitivity confidential project Obsidian. Maybe there is this matching that whenever there is a keyword Obsidian or project Obsidian, label it. So auto labeling can be initiated with that. And then whenever user is trying to paste such data, that action is blocked. This is a small, just 1 or 2 seconds video. So next scenario is that if someone is trying to uh, paste this sensitive information in the chat here, and if that document is labeled, you find that label also appears here. Now, why this person is able to paste this? In the previous case, person was not able to paste it in the chat. So this has the access. This is the owner of the document. So person has the access. It is able to paste it, but Copilot is telling that it is a sensitive information document. We proceed ahead. Next case study is employee hunts for the data leading to executive salary leak, more or less similar to previous one. So incident which occurred in organization is employee hunts for sensitive info that is not protected. Example they have given is a document containing executive salaries. Copilot provides response and user will take the response, send it to reporter. No visibility into Copilot prompt. This is the reason. Root cause analysis. Responses are not contingent based on the user's permission. It should be restricted. No label inheritance or DLP in place. So user is able to access and then forward it also. So if label is there, even if it is forwarded, the person who is outside your domain, person won't be able to open that document. So DSPM for AI says that go for information protection, have the label defined and use it in the DLP. So you find DSPM for AI Activity Explorer will give you information about all the users who have interacted with the Copilot, and you can get the details of this interaction as well. So when we say that some user has asked for executive salaries in the Activity Explorer, we find that this is the user Alex Wilson who has interacted with the Copilot on so and so date time, and this is the file name, Excel file. Whenever you try to open that detail, you get this information that user, which label is there, executive salary is the file name dot XLS, and policies purview for AI. All the details it will give you. So you try to create a label, confidential HR, with the priority of your requirement. You apply control as well as content marking, access control as well as content marking, and you assign the permission of a co-author. And you say that executive salaries can be accessed by leadership group members only. And this leadership will mean admin or project managers or head of the departments. So those restricted people only will be co-author on this document. So permission you have now restricted. In the content marking also, you are saying that it should be confidential HR. Labeling, auto labeling you avail. Now, when you want Purview portal to auto label the data, you will have to tell it which document to label and which to not. So you choose trainable classifier HR, and this classifier will classify the documents which will have HR information, and only those will be auto labeled by the Purview portal. You find scope of this policy will be file, email, meetings, site, unified groups, schematized data assets. Access control is in place, content marking is in place, auto labeling is in place. Whenever you create label, you have to publish it and label policy is created. Unless and until label is published, it won't be available for usage. So when I say policy, it means you are publishing the label and it creates the related policy. So you find that here label is created. Now, whenever this confidential HR label is ready and is used, you find executive salary document is been labeled. So this list has the access. So this document is visible to list. It has been labeled confidential HR. Now there is this user who is trying to ask Copilot, summarize the document executive salary. To this user, Copilot says that I am sorry, but I couldn't find any specific information about executive salary in my search result. So this user is not a member of leadership group. So this user is not authorized to access. So with this user's access, if this Copilot proceeds, Copilot cannot access this document. There is another scenario, accidental overexposure of the personal data. So here you find user asks for the summary of data that contains customer data, credit card number, accidental overexposure of personal data. Copilot provides response but doesn't detect sensitivity. No labeling is in place. So Copilot is not able to validate that this is the sensitive data. So Copilot provides the data, user takes it and prints it. User is able to print it and access it. Why? Because there is no policy, data loss prevention policy to govern this action. So you find, again you create label and block printing. So everywhere you will find that input is sensitive information, inbuilt or custom. You create a label using this information and then you create policy. This should be the flow, which consists of rule matching and related action if match is found. Choose info you want this label to apply to. Custom policy is selected. Credit card is the information you are interested in. So you define the rule for content matching, and in the rule you say that the documents or the content which contains sensitive information type, the document which contains sensitive information type of credit card. This is inbuilt. You can create custom as well. The rule is content contains credit card. If this is the scenario, auto label it with the confidential finance label. If that document already has a label with the same or lower priority, replace that label. Give the priority to credit card label. And the location selected, Exchange email, SharePoint, OneDrive. Everything is included, no one is excluded. We are running the policy in simulation mode to detect items that match the policy. Next step is check the policy simulation overview in few hours to review the results. You'll get an email notification when simulation completes. Analyze that and then decide on turning on the policy. You find custom policy you created for confidential finance data, credit card is there under the simulation mode. So now this user says whose credit card number is this. So as user has access to this document, it says that this is the number of so and so user, but this is sensitive information. And the last case we are going to check on here is that of investigation for insider trading based on users' AI interaction. So it covers insider risk section as well. User prompts Copilot, rephrase this email so that it doesn't sound like insider trading. So user wants to communicate some information, but also tells that I should be able to hide this, disguise this. The user copies the response, and then whatever output is given by Copilot, user tries to delete it. And whatever is the output in the mild language disguised form, user sends over the team. So no retention is in place for Copilot interaction. So user is able to delete this and remove user's footprints of doing non-compliant action. No audit or collection in place. So this data, user's action is not logged. So what you do, this is what user has done. Rephrase this sentence so it doesn't sound like insider trading. It's time to sell this stock as there is some bad news coming next week. that is going to impact the stock price. Here is the refresh sentence. So this is the input, this is the output by Copilot. User copies this output and then tries to delete the prompt, which user has given. Do you want to delete this? And this is deleted from here. So you want to apply a retention policy wherein it will not allow user to delete. So you go to home and solution. In the communication compliance policy also, you define those words: stocks, sell, buy, price fall, increase in price, rate, all the stock trading related terms you define by creating policies. Copilot interaction, communication compliance policies, and it will also give you the log in detail that these are the details. This is the user at this timestamp has communicated. Recipient is Copilot. So once you configure the policies, it will be able to track and it should not be. So once you find that this is the user involved in that, you can escalate this matter and create the case. Ask someone to investigate this matter. And this will be provided as the look into this further, create cases of potential insider trading violation. Communication compliance is from where you are getting the info related to this activity. So yeah, this is how you will be able to use Microsoft Purview for data security whenever you are allowing the use of AI tools in your environment. So thank you all. Thank you for connecting. If you have any query, kindly use the chat section. I will be able to address your queries. Chat option is with you. The documents we won't be able to share because of the Microsoft's policy. In case if data privacy. Could you elaborate more on this query? Exactly what you want to implement? Okay, if you have other clouds in your environment. So if you have other clouds in your environment, you will have the documents or infra part or everything onboarded to the Microsoft's portals. And if your users are accessing those data, it will be under scope. Previously, on the slide 1, we have seen that the environments you need to connect. If you are talking about infra data governance, those infra from your other cloud environment, they should be onboarded to the portal.azure.com. There is also Microsoft Defender for cloud for the compliance part of that, and data governance. Once those other cloud infra part are onboarded, you will have to use this unified Purview portal wherein you will create the data map, you will scan it, and you will get the catalog of different data which are present in your environment. And it will give you the visibility as well, how the data is traveling, whether it is labeled or not. So classification of data and labeling will also be done there. Yeah. Any other query do we have? Any query, any doubt you have, please do use the chat section. We can address your queries.
Guys, meanwhile, don't forget to fill the feedback form I already shared on chat box.
Yeah, requesting everyone to please kindly fill the feedback as well. And thank you all. Thank you for connecting today. Have a good time. Happy weekend all.